Welcome my friends, Seven Gray here. Thank you for joining me for this episode. Today I'm just outside of Yuma, Arizona, enjoying the Arizona winter here in the desert. Temperatures are great. I'm ecstatic and happy to be back from Spain where it was getting so cold, although I love Europe. I much prefer the warmer weather. And so I've got a little bit of warm weather today, hopefully not too much wind. Going to try to get a little bit of work done on the step van. Need to get some dishes done this morning. I just finished my breakfast. Still doing my one-eyed jacks, the eggs that are sort of put into some toast. So that's sort of my go-to breakfast. Get some coffee, some awesome creamer. Doing tea in the afternoons. So I'm sort of a mixture of a coffee person and a tea person. Today's project, I'm going to be working on doing drawer fronts. So I'm going to make some rustic barnwood drawer fronts for the front of the drawers. After I finish my dishes, I'll show you what I mean. Here's the cabinet and drawers that I made several months ago. This cabinet's made out of 1/2-inch plywood, and then I built these drawers myself here. The drawers are pretty standard, just made out of the 1/2-inch plywood, and I used my brad nail gun to put them together with some wood glue. So what I want to do today is put some rustic barnwood on the front of these drawers so that they don't look like plywood and they sort of have a uniform look with the rest of the step van. Over here is my fridge, and the front on the fridge actually is some rustic barnwood, so I wanted to match this look over on the drawers. I have a scrap piece of wood here, so I'm going to just use it and make one of the drawer fronts, sort of test it out. I don't actually mind these little holes here. I think it gives it a little bit of character. I've drawn a line exactly at 1 foot, so I'm going to cut that. This is my trick, using a speed square to get a straight cut, perpendicular and exactly straight. So I just use it for alignment, and it works great. There you go. The real trick here is to try to figure out how to get this spaced exactly right so that it will clear the top piece here, fit on the sides, leaving enough gap at the top and getting it level and enough gap between it and the bottom drawer. So I don't know any real good way to do this because I'm not a cabinet maker. I'm not a master at this. I'm just sort of making it up as I go along. So I'm just sort of going by feel and the way it looks. That looks about right. So I'm just going to sort of grab it, try to hold it still as I pull it out, and clamp it like this with my hand, and then try to use my other hand to drill it from the back side. And then try to hold it straight and do a second screw from the back side again. And hopefully that's straight. Actually, it looks really good. And then next I have set up this. It's a faucet knob from an outdoor faucet. And then for a spacer, I'm just using a nut that is a little bit large. This is left over, so I'm just sort of salvaging that. And then I have a bolt that's about the right distance. So let's see if I can get this to go in this hole that I've pre-drilled. There we go. One drawer down. And then to secure it in place so that it doesn't bounce around when I'm driving, I have just a very small screw here, and I'm just going to put it in the corner, sort of eyeball it, and let it protrude out enough so that this little hair bungee can stretch around and hold it tight. So that's how I'm securing things. Now I just need to make another piece of rustic barnwood to go on this bottom drawer front here. The bottom part of the drawer front needs to be 8 inches, which is too wide for one board. So I have to actually get 2 boards and meld them together. I'm using a Craig jig to get the 2 parts together. Let me show you how that works. So this board here is 5 1/4 inches, and then I cut a narrow strip here, and then I'm using the Craig pocket jig to make the little holes here, and then the special Craig screws to go in here, which will join these two parts together. And normally you glue that in here, but given I don't really need the extra strength because this is just a drawer front going on the plywood, I'm just going to secure it this way. And there you go. And this is really just for making this aesthetically pleasing and flat and flush on the front, and give something to attach the knob to. So anyway, I'm pleased with how this looks. I just have to sort of line it up and get everything looking exactly the way I want with enough of a gap underneath it. Looks like I'm slightly off on my edges, but it's close enough. And there we have it. Drawer number 2 is done. So I've got 2 drawers done, just have to finish the others. And I'm done with my project for today. I've got the 3 cabinets set up, total of 6 drawer fronts. It's looking pretty good. I'm missing one of my knobs, but I'll track it down eventually and get that installed. But let me show you what I've done. Here's the first one I completed, which is on the left side here, looking pretty good. And over here on the other side, a twin. I really like sort of the distressed, unique look of the wood here. And then on the opposite side, still need to install the knob on this down here. And here's the top one. It's looking pretty good right next to the fridge with my pull-out here. The barnwood side to side. I think it's looking really nice. This is probably going to turn out to be a little bit of a short episode, but anyway, I wanted to let you know that I'm making a little bit of progress with the step van here in Arizona during the winter months. I'm guessing I'll probably be mostly finished up by the RTR event, which is in mid-January. So I've got about a month to build, I think, one more kitchen cabinet, again with 2 other drawer fronts like that, a large closet unit that's going to go in the back, and then another bench seat that's going to go opposite side from my new slat bed that I have, and then also a little power box that I'm going to build on the wall. And I think that's pretty much it for the woodwork and the interior, and I'll be pretty much done except for finishing up the ceiling up here, and I may or may not get to that before the RTR. So that's all I have for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Savor the moment, and I'll see you next episode.